talking to you, Shannon, you were able to hear the presser. Quick, just overall thoughts on what you heard and what he had to say about where the team is headed. And I'm going to play the clip here, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. What were your thoughts before I play the clip, Shannon?
So my initial thoughts on it was felt like that good robotic answer that a coach that's about to be fired is going to give. It felt like, I took away some keywords or some key phrases when he says, "Hey, this is the opportunity for us to get a little bit better," which I just totally didn't agree with because a little bit better, in my opinion, from where they were on Saturday or where they were 2 weeks ago is still not very good. It's not winning football. And if he's saying that, then it's not. I would love to see some fire from Billy, and I think once again I like the guy, but a little bit of fire from him to be like, look, we got our asses kicked, and we need to go out here and win a football game against an SEC opponent, which has been almost a year since South Carolina last year, and he didn't say anything like that. It became very technical. It became very, we're trying to install this, and we're trying to. Nobody gives a damn about that. All right, it's about winning football games. At the end of the day, if you're not winning football games, then you're not doing what you said you were going to do when you came to the University of Florida. Developing, great. Putting these guys in a position to succeed after football, awesome. But I think you missed the biggest part of the assignment. Like you're trying to do all the extra
Oh
credit
man.
without doing the actual assignment. And the assignment is to win football games. You missed that part of it.
I think you missed your calling, Shane. You could have been a rapper with the bars right there. I like
He said you missed doing the work. You trying to get straight to extra credit. Yeah.
That would hurt. That would hurt me. I'm not. What is even about me? That one stung. That was spot on. Now, Shannon,
Bars.
We've had you on before, and I've seen your support. I would say before the season, as all of us. It's safe to say that you were bought in and completely on board with what you were seeing / hearing going into game one.
Yeah, I was firmly listen. I try to support Billy. I was even after the last game last year against Florida State. I said, I'm disappointed that we're in year two at that point in time, and I'm disappointed that this is where we are. And Steve can speak on this as well. Is that we've seen some tough times, like post Spurrier and post Meyer or pre Meyer for him and post Spurrier for me. Is that we've seen some tough times and we've seen but those teams were competitive. I don't care what anybody says, they were competitive. And the part for me is that it's not only do they look quote unquote flat, it's just like they just don't give a damn about being out there on the football field. And listen, there's so many more resources nowadays for both the players and the coaches to be successful, and they're not taking advantage of them. I turn on the TV every Sunday or every Saturday or every Thursday night or whatever, and I see these teams that are successful on offense. I see them having good offensive line and playing good defense. It may be once in a while, but damn, it's been a year. And it's probably been longer on defense, but it's been a long time since I've been able to be excited about Gator football. And I always said when I was done with the game that I wouldn't be a former player that got overly emotional or got upset about what's going on. And Steve, you're probably the same way. But I mean, we take a look at this, and I'm just disappointed because I'm still Gators in my blood. So if you're a Gator, it's in your blood. I mean, you have a vested interest in it. And to watch what we've been watching, not only for the past 3 years, but more specifically the last three games, because even in Sanford, everybody wants to give them credit, but like, oh, we beat them, whatever the score. They struggled. The first half, they struggled. It did not look like the Gators that we're used to seeing from years ago. And we struggled, and we wanted to give them all credit in the world because Lagway looked good, and I like DJ and everything like that, but it was still a broken system. And we've just gotten exposed by two teams that were good, but it's nothing like what we're going to see here coming up in the next couple of weeks where we could get bounced out of the stadium very quickly.
Oh, my God.
I mean, tell me I'm lying.
You're not. It just hurts when you say
you're
it. You're
not
lying,
bro. Yeah, because honestly, it's like a veil over our eyes. We love the Gators so much that it's hard to see where we really weak at, bro. And when you say it like that, man, just from a former player perspective, when I listen to you and what you're saying, you're 100% correct, bro. And it hurts me to know that. Like, you're
Like
100% correct, bro. And,
I think
and even when
everybody
you,
has. I think everybody has seen us. I think everybody has seen both you and I. There's other former players that have been on this, and you guys have seen how we feel about stuff and how we try to talk up the team because we're former players. We've been in a position where we
right,
lost a game, and it's like the whole world's coming down on us. Thank God
right,
social media wasn't as popular as it was back in the day. But damn, nobody could ever knock us for not trying, or for not running on
yeah,
the field, or for looking just
yeah,
like we just didn't care about. And listen, driving around a freaking Hellcat. I wasn't driving around a really nice car. We had to park miles away, and I'm not just
three
I'm
deep on the
glad these
school.
players right. I'm glad these players have the opportunity to do stuff and to have stuff that we didn't have. But damn it, if you're gonna have it, you need to make sure that you're earning it and that you're
Mm.
working for it. Right now, it seems like you guys are getting a free lunch meal and you haven't even gone through the lunch line. You feel like you've arrived. It's not even a thing.
This, I
Oh
think,
my
you,
God.
you nailed on the head. This was the biggest concern of the NIL, right? How people will respond. And when we start to have these conversations, people are like, oh, you think these kids don't deserve it. But like you just said, I think you do deserve it. But be appreciative, be understanding of what you have as well, too, and still put the grind and put the effort in. And again, it's like you kind of see that click of like, it's, well, this game's out. Let's just go ahead and go through the motions for the next 3 quarters. We've kind of lost that juice. And it's not just Florida. You see it across the board. We're going to get into some Spurrier comments where he takes a jab at FSU in the DJU situation where it's like you bring in a guy that's getting paid a lot of money, you start losing football games, you lose the locker room too because like this guy's getting paid a ton and we're getting clapped and he's still starting. I do want to play this clip though and get both of your
Hey,
thoughts on it. Go ahead, Steve.
I just want to say one thing to something brother said. He talked about looking around the landscape and seeing other teams that are playing good football. And
Mm.
that just it reminds me of watching that Georgia Tech team on defense. They don't have the caliber of guys we have, but they play sound defense. Like everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. The defense there, you can look at their eyes and see that they're focused on what they're supposed to be doing. Our eyes be everywhere and not where our assignments are. And these guys are taking the right steps. They're in great football position, but they don't have the caliber of players we have. So it's tough when you can see other teams that are getting it right, but are not on our level. And then you watch how we play, and it's not even the same. Like, you know what I mean?
Boston
That's tough to watch.
College is a prime example of that going into Mizzou, which is a hostile territory. A lot of teams, including Georgia and Florida, struggle playing in that stadium, and they carried themselves and handled themselves very well on Saturday. And they've played sound defense and sound offense. Obviously, handled FSU as well too. And again, I've been big on Boston College. They took our strength and conditioning coach away from us, and Craig Fitzgerald and Bill O'Brien is people are talking about the next head coach, which we'll get into a little bit too. I kind of like the idea of an NFL guy coming in. I mean, you see what Matt Rule's doing over at Nebraska. You see Bill O'Brien now having success. We're in the world of a mini NFL, and I think that's what we have to transition to. We want to keep that college-esque feel, and I get that, but it's just not anymore.